Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander, Director of Sales for Bona Adhesives.
And I'm Rob Johnson from Bona Training.
How we doing, Rob?
Oh, I could not be better. I'm feeling good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. I found a couple new singers that I really like. This goes out to that guy that didn't want to hear two boomers. As I said, I think it was you they didn't. He had a problem with, not me. But I tell you what, man. I'll stop that. I didn't mean to do that. I found a couple new singers I really like.
So now you're blaming his complaint on me.
Yeah.
Is that's how it works? That's how it works?
Well, I think my musical selection is better than yours.
Well, you are a director, and I'm just a little field manager. So, okay.
All right.
If you're gonna pass that on.
If you don't know Charlie Crockett he's a darn good musician, man. He's a talent. I'm going to give you three.
Because every time you mention a singer, I usually go out and buy 20 of his songs. I'll go out, listen, and go, oh, geez, that guy's pretty good. Next thing you know, it's another.
Why are you still buying music?
$1.20. I don't know. I buy Apple Music. What? Why? What do you do? Do you steal it? How do you get it?
I'm probably paying for it, and I don't know. I have it on.
When you go on Apple Music and it says $1.29.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I got some of those, but I listen to Pandora. I don't know what it cost me, and I don't care. It's worth it. I'm going to give you three. Okay.
3 songs.
3 singers. Charlie Crockett. This guy is going to surprise a lot of people, man.
Charlie Crockett.
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
All right. Joshua Ray Walker.
Joshua.
Yep. And I only know one song by this other guy.
Wait. I'm writing. Okay. Joshua
Ray Walker.
And who's the last guy?
The last guy, I only know like one song from this last guy. But I don't know how this guy isn't blown up because he's so good. His name is Mickey, Mickey, Lamentia, Lamantia. And if you only listen to one song down, if you're not like I don't know, if you like really good like folk whatever, this is a great song, and it's called The Old One. Okay, it's become my new favorite song lately, man.
The old one.
You listen to that. If that guy who said he tried to listen to our podcast, you didn't like it. If you still listen, if you don't like that, we got a problem. All right. So anyhow, there you go.
The guy who the guy who doesn't like our music taste. He's probably a big Britney Spears fan or something like that.
Somehow doubt it. I like Britney Spears. Not her music so much, but she's a whack job, and I root for her because she's just.
There's some bad news today about Britney Spears. That's why I brought her up.
You're kidding.
She's getting divorced.
Well, maybe that's not bad news. Maybe that's good news.
Oh, so you?
No, I mean not for me.
Is that what you're thinking?
No, but maybe
probably what she's looking for, a floor jockey guy, in his 60s.
No. But maybe she'll be happier divorced.
14 months. 14 months.
That's all she was married?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I think she's been going with the guy since like 2016. And I just had to listen to something. Sometimes music puts me to sleep when I'm driving, so I got to listen to something talk.
Okay.
And that's what I heard on the way up.
Well, good to hear.
So, hey, shout out
to Britney Spears.
Stay tough, Britney. I know Britney's a big listener of the show.
Yeah, hang in there, Britney.
Hang in there, give me a call if you want to talk. I'm there. Shoulder to cry on.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
So did you do anything special on the break? On our hiatus?
Nope.
Nothing?
Nothing. I got
Wow.
nothing. I worked.
Nothing.
I can't think of one exciting thing I did.
My daughter
Uh,
Emily.
I got one
Oh,
thing,
go
but
ahead.
you go
No,
first.
no. All right. My daughter Emily brought me to a Red Sox game
No kidding.
with the boys. Yeah. Jack
That's
and
nice.
Luke
Hmm.
to the Red Sox game. And I never realized what an old man I've turned into.
No kidding.
Because we got there, I said, we got to get there early. It was peanut allergy day. And there was a special section for kids with peanut allergies. And, so they could go to the game and enjoy the game. So we're in our section, and I'm pointing different things out at Fenway Park, and I said, see over there, see that sea of green seats. I go, squint, look, and you'll see one red seat in right center field. And I said, that is where Ted Williams hit a home run. They said it was the longest home run in the history of Boston Red Sox baseball at Fenway Park. And I said, and it hit a guy in the head who wasn't looking, wearing a straw hat, and it put a hole in his hat. And then I told him about Pesky's pole and the big green monster. And I'm going, and there's a couple other people around listening, like, this is like the old man of the sea. But I've been going there since, I was their age,
No kidding.
Yeah. So it was just funny that, like I said, I sounded just like the oldest guy at Fenway Park that day.
Well, when you said we have to get there early, that was a good indication that you're going to be the old man.
Well, here's how old I've gotten. Okay, so my daughter goes, well, why do we have to get this so early? I go, well, one, we want to get good seats in the section we're at because it's like an open seating type thing. I said, but the other thing is, I want the boys to see batting practice. Remember? I don't know if you ever went to games, right? But you go early and you see batting practice. And also during batting practice, that's when, if you got down and wanted an autograph or something and you were hanging and, and they walk up and give you autographs. And so, so the guy who's working our gate, I'm thinking, geez, batting practice has got to be going on now. Why isn't the gate open,
Yeah.
So I said to the kid working the gate, I go, when did they open the gate? And he goes, 90 minutes before the game. And I said, well, 90 minutes before the game, batting practice is over. He looks at me and he started laughing. He goes, no, you got to pay extra to go in and see batting practice. And you can only go in on this gate. And it's a special ticket. And I'm like, you sons of, you got to be kidding me.
No kidding.
You took batting practice away from us?
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah. And I got the grandsons all, where do you see batting practices?
Yeah. That's pretty damn cool, though.
But they took that away.
Yeah. That's an old ballpark, isn't it?
It is a step back in time. It really is an absolute time warp. I mean, the seats are the same. There's really nothing that's changed. I mean, there's seats on the wall on the green monster and everything, but most of it is just such a throwback. I mean, my daughter Emily, she's always been a Red Sox fan, and she just, she was just so happy that we were all there. And it was a fantastic day.
Nice.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
The poor allergy kids, okay, they got allergies, and what do you like to do when you go to a ball game? Watch the game and eat peanuts. So everybody there were.
So did anyway, they have? Wait a minute. Did they not serve peanuts on that particular day?
And oh no, just in that section.
Okay, that's fine then.
They gave you one section. It was on the, and my daughter's like, oh, it's on the roof of right field. And I'm like, the roof of right field? What are you, out of your mind?
Yeah.
That's insane. I'll never not go to a game and sit there again. It was comfortable. You could move around. It was like sitting on your deck.
Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh, it was awesome. It was.
like a great experience. Well, I made popcorn.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully it was allergy free.
You know, I don't barbecue a lot of stuff for other people. You know, I'll barbecue something for myself, but not for anybody else. Um, and Judy doesn't like me to make popcorn inside because it smells in the house. So I make popcorn outside on the barbecue thing. I now have the down to a science, and I really do think I make the best popcorn that can be made. I can no longer, I can no
Of
longer,
course you do. You're
I
Wayne
can't go.
Highlander. Of course this is the best
No,
popcorn.
I can't make a good roast or ribs or nothing else, but popcorn.
But you do popcorn on the grill.
Yeah,
This
but
is,
it's in a
I've never
pot.
heard of it. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there. So
It,
what's the
no,
recipe? How do you do
no,
it?
no, it's in a pot. Here's the thing:
Okay, how's it go?
you got to start with ladyfinger popcorn, the really small
Lady,
kernels, ladyfinger. Amish stores might have them, but the smallest ones, the really small ladyfinger popcorn. Okay,
okay, yeah.
you put it on the you put cooking oil or whatever on the down. You put that down first, then you put the
Mm-hmm.
popcorn in the thing. Right, you got to constantly stir the popcorn, keep it evenly hot, nice and hot. Okay, then you take about a third of a stick of butter and you put that in there too. In the hot pot. You know, you used to take it and drizzle it over top of it.
Right.
Don't do that.
Don't do
Put the
that.
popcorn in the pan at the bottom. Now, when it first starts popping, it would pop down into that, and I thought, well, it's just going to be soggy now because it's wet down there. Doesn't happen. When it's done, it is absolutely glorious. I mean, the best popcorn I ever had in my life.
Is there a ratio? Like, did you use 1 cup of kernels or half a cup
Mm.
or?
It's hard to say. I do now use a full cup and then a little bit more of popcorn.
Okay.
But the oil, I just kind of eyeball, and that's one thing I'm going to start making sure I do exactly the same every time.
Okay.
Yeah, but and then the butter is perfect, and
And
I
you're doing it out on the grill.
doing it out on the grill. But when I say the grill, it's the grill has a thing for pots. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's not.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
So you're outside. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're outside, not messing up our house. Perfect.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So
So here I am. Unbelievable day at Fenway Park, but you made popcorn.
yeah. Yeah. So.
I'm gonna finish my Fenway story, and then we can move on to.
Oh, I
something.
thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Oh God, it could go on forever. No.
Okay. Thanks for warning the listeners.
Okay. Well, this was it. Okay. And you're gonna be able to see this. I bet Chris will want this video, or then maybe he won't. But the guy who was working the section. Now they steam clean the whole place before they get there, so it's all nut free. No nuts in that area. They got a nurse up there with EpiPens just in case something goes wrong. No.
Is your grandson allergic to peanuts?
Big time. Bad.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got a real
okay.
bad one.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the guy who's working that whole area, kind of, the manager of the place, he said, "Hey, everybody, any kid who wants to run the bases, as soon as the last out is made, meet me right here."
Wow.
And they make an announcement. Anybody who wants to run the bases, it's a Sunday game, right? Sunday afternoon game. Anybody who wants to run the bases, get in line. The allergy kids were the first ones in line.
No kidding.
Wayne, I am not exaggerating. When I say this, I bet there was 2,000 people in line for kids to run the bases.
Wow.
But they ran the bases at Fenway Park. They were out on the field running the bases.
That's pretty
cool. So it was an awesome day.
It's very cool.
And we got a great video. Luke is just trying to pass as many people as he can. And Jackie Boy's coming up the rear, but Jackie Boy wanted to make sure that he stepped on every single base. It was
that's awesome.
Hysterical. Yeah, it was.
That's very cool. That's a great
amazing day. Yeah, absolutely amazing day.
You know, when I get on Southwest Airlines in the old days, and I get on the plane, and the waitress, the airline stewardess. To me, they're waitresses. I think about food.
They're flight attendants.
Flight attendants,
Flight
and
attendant.
they go, and I got an aisle seat. And back in the old days, there'd be nobody next to me sometimes, and I'm like, life can't get any better. And they go, okay, 78 degrees out, and there is no wind, and you got a 2-hour flight, but we can probably do it in about an hour and 48 minutes. Things are good, and oh, by the way, we won't be serving peanuts on this flight because somebody has a peanut allergy. I'd be like, what? Come on, man. And I'd be looking around. I'd be looking around for that person.
Who is it?
Who? Come on.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
They should have a peanut allergy flight. But I'm
well,
glad
Southwest is now taking the nuts away.
they've ruined the experience completely.
There's no more peanuts.
No, it's pretzels and they're horrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was on a flight one time when just when everybody was just about seated. Okay, everybody's just about seated. A woman a couple aisles up from me, she stands up and she starts making an announcement, her own announcement of her violent peanut allergy.
Oh.
Okay? And it's an airborne allergy, and she's like talking to, a good portion of the plane. And she's going on. And then she says, if you really need to have peanuts, please let me know, and I'll go sit in the bathroom, close the door, and stay in the bathroom until you're done.
Fine. Okay.
What are you doing on that?
I mean, I really, really want these peanuts. And I brought a peanut butter sandwich. So no,
You're gonna give her a tap. You're gonna tap her on the shoulder. Yo,
no. Yeah, wouldn't that be funny? Wake her up mid-flight. Gosh, I wasn't going to, but
I'm sorry. I'm starving.
Yeah,
right. And yeah, so, I got to get rid of these planters, man.
I noticed it's not occupied right now, so
so I'll probably need about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I'll probably need a good 20 minutes.
Make yourself comfortable.
Yeah, and bring me back something to clean my hands.
Yeah. Okay, Rob, what are we talking about today?
Well, we had our first official Bona Laticrete 3-day school. We did a whole thing on skim coating and using the Laticrete system for floor leveling and things like that. And then the second day, we did like an intermediate install on the Laticrete portion of everything that we had learned the day before.
Okay.
And then we wrapped up with the third day was sand and finishing, intermediate stuff. So we're, I know we've had a lot of people in the past saying, boy, if we could just, do a little bit more at the bonus schools, a little more intermediate type things. And man, I really think that that we have found it. At the end of day 2, and as they wrapped up the floor and they finished it up, I just, I got everybody around. I said, geez, I don't know how important you think this is. I said, but I think that this was our first official Bona installation class.
Yeah.
Which really just blew me away as the words were coming out of my mouth. I mean, the history of Bona, I don't know if we've ever really done.
Well, we've done
we did some expert, BCC and stuff like that, but this was like a first open invitation.
Yep.
I think I might be wrong, but it was my first one.
I don't think you are. I think you're right. And I love that you did that herringbone floor. I think the Europeans have been ahead of us in America on herringbone and chevron floors for a long time. I mean, you look at all the stuff the Europeans are doing over there in Europe. Yeah, the Europeans that live in Europe,
Yeah.
um, with herringbone and chevron. Uh, I think I watch them a lot of the videos they're doing, and it's so boom, it's so second nature to them. They're so fast at it and everything. And
Hmm.
I think they're a couple generations, probably many generations ahead of us on those two type of installs. So it's becoming more the norm over here. You see a lot of guys struggle with it, and when I when you told me that Michael Dittmer was going to come and help on that portion of it, I mean, you couldn't be in better hands.
I'm telling
So
you, Mike joined the team, tech and training team, about a year and a half ago, and working with him over the last 3 days, I just kept, walking over to him and grabbing his neck and punching him in the arm, thinking, I just kept saying, this is so awesome. I said,
mhm.
he was teaching people about tremel points. He was teaching people about layout and, the how, not only was he teaching them that stuff, but he was really, some of the stuff he was talking about too was, what to look for when you're buying a herringbone floor and, what is not going to work and what is
Mhm.
going to work. I mean, the guys who were there, we just gained so much knowledge between everything that we were learning from the Laticrete guys.
Yep.
And I did talk to the Laticrete guy, and he would love to be on the show. He was all excited when we were talking about it. But
Okay.
plus, I think we can have a couple of laughs with the guy. He was, he's kind of like us, a
A
little
person.
off, yeah,
Okay.
a little off color. He had some fun.
That's
But
good.
yeah, I think he would be, but ton of knowledge too.
Hmm.
And I think the great thing is it was just so eye opening to all the wood floor guys
Yeah.
that were there. Like,
Yeah.
wow, this is how you do that. I mean, to me, it's always been taboo. Like, no, I ain't gonna
Hmm.
touch that stuff. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
do that. And
Yeah.
these guys really make it look easy, to
I
the
love.
point where halfway through the Laticrete portion of what they were doing, I said to Pauline, I go, do me a favor, go down in the cellar and stand in front of the oil tank and take a picture of the cellar floor going towards the washing machine.
Hmm.
And she's like, why? I go, just I'm at a concrete thing and I want to show him the pictures of, right.
Hmm.
So I said to him, when we got a little chance, I go, listen, you probably hear this all the time. I go, but what
Any
can I do
level.
with this?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's easy. Use the NXT this, use this sealer, use this primer, the
Hmm.
NXT, float it out. He goes, it'll be fan. It'll be great. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm
Nice.
I'm psyched. I can't wait to do it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
When I knew Mike Dittmer was going to be part of the class, and I called him a couple days ahead of time. I said, "Hey, Mike, you're doing the herringbone install for that class out there in New Jersey." He goes, "Yeah." I said, "I'm going to throw something at you. You know, just my 2 cents worth, and you tell me, to shove it, get back in my own lane if you don't agree. But just maybe you ought to do this." And I won't say what it was. Well, actually, I will say what it was. He has got. I said, "I know you're going to bring festival stuff, but maybe you can show guys how to make their own tracks and blah blah blah." And Mike is the nicest guy on earth. Mike goes, "When you can shove it and get back in your own lane." I go, "Okay, all right, enough said. I
He
won't say
told me
another
that
word."
story.
Yeah.
He told me that story. He goes, I got a call from Wayne. He told me the same exact story.
Yeah.
And
So
we laughed. Oh my God, he was laughing. And then he says to me, "Look, if you can't afford a festival, you can't do herringbone anyways."
yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. I left out a couple words.
Yeah.
But
But to
no.
have Mike, I mean, to have Mike there, the thing that I love about, and I've seen lots of instructors through the years, and I think the best instructors are the guys who just make it sound easy.
Yeah.
They make it look easy, they make it sound easy. You've seen some of the instructors through the years that I'm performing brain surgery, and
Hmm.
I doubt you can do this.
Yeah.
Mike is a kind of instructor, when you see him doing it, you want to go do it.
Hmm.
He makes you want to do what he's doing. I saw that with the guys. I mean,
Yeah.
he just made it look so enticing, so easy, and he has just a really nice, cool, quiet, funny confidence about him that it just resonates through the whole class. I mean,
Yeah.
it was really, it was a great class. I mean, I am really looking forward to doing a lot more of these.
It's Mike's confidence in his as laid back at ease approach that makes everybody jump in and feel like they're not intimidated or whatever, and he's approachable, and he's never going to be the one that that's going to knock anybody. He's just the I don't know, we got such a gem with him when we hired him, and and I love that when he explained everything to it and how to he put the lines out and everything on the floor, then he erased everything and then made them do it.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what you want, you
Yes.
know. So is that way you're doing it hands? That's how I learned. You learn by doing hands on. So
Right.
yeah, I heard it was a phenomenal class, and then you routed it out after that, put a border in it and feature strip and everything, and so
Yeah, they got
but
to use the grooving bit. They got to, I mean, it was and I am I am so psyched to have that floor at our training center now,
yeah,
because so many people are, how do we sand herringbone? How do we coat herringbone?
yeah,
Well, now we get a 300-foot herringbone panel where,
yeah,
I know we're going to get a lot of guys just, give us a call saying, geez, can I grab a day in there and figure it out what I'm going to need to do on my herringbone job?
yeah,
Well, how can I
nice.
work it out and practice and everything? So, um, I think we're going to see more herringbone floors in all of our training centers.
Okay. And I love that you put clay on it. The color is spectacular. Looks beautiful. So, and now you think about those guys that went to that class, did a beautiful 320 square foot herringbone floor with a feature strip and a border around it. Now you can take that skill and go out. You can make a lot of money off of that. You know what I mean? I mean,
It's something that we've been preaching in the class, that literally I've been dragging and kicking against my whole life. When I first got into the business, left my dad's business, started our own. Pete and I figured out how to do white floors because that's what everybody wanted, and none of the old timers wanted to do it.
mhm.
So we figured it out, and it gave us a great little start. And then you had the distress floors, and people were calling me up, hey, do you do distress floors? No, that's stupid. You're destroying the floor. 40/80 satin poly, that's how you do a floor. And we didn't get the job. And
Yeah.
then the next fad that kicked in was hand scraped. Do you hand scrape? No, don't do that.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure if I was still doing floors and somebody said, you
Yeah.
do herringbone, I'd say, no, we don't do herringbone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But herringbone is everything.
Yeah.
Herringbone it's the new hand scrape, right?
Yeah.
It's
It's the new medallion. It's the new hand scrape.
Yes,
It's a new wire
yes,
brush. Everybody's
exactly.
everybody's doing medallions or chevrons, and so to be able to get there, especially with a guy that is as patient as he is, and in an environment that does you can make mistakes. That's what you're there for. That it's gonna I think it's gonna be great for the schools.
Mikey Overy was there helping out. Your team was there, Frank
Mhm.
Capolino and Gene Vincent. He was there. I'm trying to think if there's any, and of course our man Pedro Carrera. I don't know what we'd ever do without Pedro.
Mhm.
Pedro comes to just about every school we do. He's just an amazing what do they call that? Uh,
Translator.
translator. Yeah, I was going to call him a transformer, but
I was gonna say.
he's a better translator than a transformer.
Hmm.
So we had an awesome team there. Everybody was excited. I mean, you could feel it. It
Yeah.
was electric. But man, when Mike stepped up and really started, but so he gets done and all the lines are laid out, and I'm like, oh, okay, great. We're gonna get going here. So I see Ovary coming out on the panel with a power drive,
Yeah.
right? And I said, a little early for that, Mike. That's tomorrow. And he goes, no, we're sanding off all the lines. I go, what? He goes, yeah, we're taking the lines off, so they got
Yeah.
to put the lines back on. I was like,
That's beautiful.
I'm just gonna shut my mouth and
Hmm.
make sure that everybody gets a coffee.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So it was,
Nice.
yeah. I'll tell you what, I I love our training schools, but this one was really cool, man.
Hmm.
I mean,
I love it too that you start from finish from the adhesive all the way up to the top coat. For the every machine you use, everything that touches the floor is a Bona product.
the
So
oh yeah, yeah, you're right, absolutely,
so
yep.
that's kind of cool.
It only makes sense. I mean, it's a fastener, so
Yeah. Yep. Good
I,
stuff.
I had everybody line up for a team picture and everything, kind of the inaugural Bona install class. And I just, every time I say that, I just kind of chuckle thinking Bona's now doing install classes.
Yeah.
And, they were all clapping and everything. And I said, so stay tuned, probably a year or two from now is that new Bona pre-finished flooring that, ooh, the Bona right on the box.
Be careful.
I know.
So, well, I'm excited about it, Rob. I love the pictures. I think a lot of pictures are going to be up on social media and stuff. So, as I said, the floor looked spectacular when it was done. Do you know what they finished it off with? By out of curiosity, on the power drive,
120.
120 on the power drive, and
Hmm.
they looks like they water popped it.
Yes.
Yeah, and then put clay. The clay looks beautiful. I loved it. Looks great.
So we haven't talked too much over the past month.
Hmm.
You've been doing any traveling?
Yeah, I was in Monroe. I was in North Carolina last week at the plant with the adhesives and talking to the guys down there, which was always great to catch up with them. And I rented a car, and it's funny. I was went to Hertz, and the guy goes, "You want me to use your credit card that's on file?" I go, "No, no, no, no. It's somebody. There was a fraud thing. The bank called us, so we had to change credit cards again, which I hate because all the cards you got to change.
Yes.
Well, not necessarily for you, but for me, you can imagine. So, so I said, "Here, let me give you the new one." I said, "Man, I can't stand thieves, man." I said, I think if you're over 18 in this country and you get caught stealing more than twice, they ought to just cut your hand off." And he's an older guy, right? And he goes, "Wow, that's that's pretty aggressive." I go, "Yeah." So he goes, "Okay, so there you go. Here's the paperwork. You got everything." And he goes, "You got to have it in by 9 p.m. though." He goes, "Because there's late fees. Don't have it in by 9." I said, "Man, I'm always on time. I can't stand people that are late. I think if you get caught late like more than 2 or 3 times, you got to just cut your hand off." And he goes, "There'd be a lot of people walking around without any hands." He goes, "Hey, but did you see that movie 300 where they put the guy's hands on the stone and then they had a big sword and they were going to chop the hands off?" I said, "See it. I watch that thing every night." He wasn't,
that's
who the hell,
that's my go-to movie.
who the hell is this guy? So yeah, I've been doing a little bit of traveling, Rob, but
Good. Oh,
yeah, of
that's nice. Um, One other thing about that school, um, Bill Powell. You know Bill Powell?
course. Yep.
Yeah. Bill Powell came down for it, and I definitely want to give Bill Powell a shout out. Uh, to watch him talking with the new guys today, I just love that,
Hmm.
you know, because sometimes they hear the instructor, they hear the coach or your dad or whatever, but Bill was right there and talking with them, engaging with them, and just kind of pepping them up to become part of the brotherhood type of a deal,
Yeah, I
to become
love.
craftsmen. And
Hmm.
when you just start to see that flowing, through
Yeah.
the young guys and the old guys and everything. I'm not saying Bill's old, but
Hmm.
old timers like us.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but it was just it's always a pleasure to have Billy in the classes, and he did say I cut out a little early because I wanted to get home so I could do the podcast. So, I'm saying goodbye to everybody. I go, hey, I hate to, you know, cut out a little early on you guys, but, you know, we're doing a podcast. And Billy goes, well, it's about time. How much longer are you guys going
milk, milk the reruns.
to do the reruns?
Oh, that's pretty funny. And I am. That's very cool that he did that, man. That's a class move, and I love that too. When an older guy can give some encouragement to the younger guys, up and coming guys in the trade, that's much needed, and it's very cool that he would do that.
That is one thing, the other show we were doing about the changes. I think that's another big change too, is how the older guys really want to help the younger guy. Before they didn't. I don't know about you, but the guys who trained us, they didn't want to talk to us.
Nope.
They
Nope.
wanted to share as absolutely little as possible. They didn't. Now it's like a whole mentor and nurturing and camaraderie and the brotherhood. And I know I'm sounding goofy. It's we're floor sanders, but man, I see it. And like I said with Powell and the young guys today, just the interactions, and you see it at almost every school. Where those old guys are taking the young guys under their wings, and there's multiple instructors at each of the bonus schools.
No, yeah, I see you're pretty hyped up about it, and I feel the same way. I mean, back in the old days, no one shared anything. You just, it wasn't like that. Now, the older guys have been around. I mean, even not, between peer to peer, everybody's sharing a lot of information, and I think it's fantastic. It's great for the industry, and it's good to hear that. So,
yeah, I am excited. It's new. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's new.
yeah.
It's like a new car. Right? You just want to go out and drive it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it sounds like the school was lit.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Rob?
I have no idea, Mr. Slang. I know. I got to read through your slang words.
Okay.
What does lit mean?
I don't know. What does it mean?
Like,
I think it just means it was exciting. It was good.
Like boss.
Yeah.
Like boss,
something like
right?
that. Yeah.
That's old California thing, right?
Yeah, we're big. That's like in the '60s.
Yeah. That's real boss. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Rob. Well, let's get out of here before we bring up any more the older stuff from the '60s. All right. Appreciate it, Rob. Glad you had a good time at the school. And this has been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. Please stay tuned for another episode.